The Wild Life and Strange Theories of Sigmund Freud. Meet Sigmund Freud, the Victorian gentleman who convinced the world that we're all secretly in love with our parents, that cigars are never just cigars, and that our dreams are basically X-rated movies. This is the story of the man who made everything about sex, death, and childhood trauma. Born in 1856, young Sigmund was a child prodigy who read Shakespeare at 8. His mother called him Mein Goldener Siegi, her golden boy, setting impossibly high expectations. Strange fact: Freud's mother was only 21 when he was born, closer in age to him than his father. This awkward family dynamic would later fuel his wildest theories. Before psychology, Freud studied eels, specifically their reproductive organs. Imagine that dinner party conversation. So what do? Oh, I examine 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 for science. He switched to medicine to afford marriage, unknowingly setting himself up to become history's most controversial doctor. Chapter 2: The Cocaine Phase. Here's what they don't teach in psychology. Freud was basically a Victorian drug dealer. He became obsessed with cocaine as a miracle cure and gave it to everyone: patients, friends, even his fiancée. Bizarre fact: he wrote love letters to Martha while high, promising to kiss you quite red after having cocaine in his body. Imagine modern psychology being founded by someone tweeting theories at 3 a.m., except it was cocaine and medical journals. The phase ended when a friend died from his miracle cure, but it taught Freud that minds could be chemically altered, making them more mysterious than anyone thought. Chapter 3: The Birth of Psychoanalysis. Freud married Martha and started his Vienna practice using hypnosis, basically medical magic in Victorian times. The breakthrough came with Anna O, whose mysterious symptoms disappeared when she talked about her problems. But Freud couldn't leave it simple. He decided all mental illness came from repressed sexual desires. Headache? Sexual repression. Insomnia? Sexual repression. Don't like your mother-in-law? Sexual repression. And here's Freud telling respectable ladies their hysteria is from wanting to sleep with their fathers. His colleagues literally walked out of lectures. One review called his work a scientific fairy tale. Chapter 4: The Oedipus Complex. Freud made his most shocking discovery. Every little boy wants to kill his father and marry his mother. Little girls, they suffer from penis envy and blame their mothers. Wild fact: he claimed he discovered this by analyzing his own childhood. Imagine that family dinner. So Sigmund, what did you learn today? Well, mother, I realized I was sexually attracted to you as a child. Pass the potatoes. When people denied wanting to sleep with their parents, Freud had the perfect comeback. Your denial proves it's true. That's just repression. It was psychological heads I win, tails you lose. Chapter 5: Dreams and Sexual Symbols. Freud published The Interpretation of Dreams, claiming every dream is a disguised sexual fantasy. Climbing stairs? Sexual. Riding horse? Sexual. Eating bananas? Extremely sexual. Long objects equal male genitalia. Umbrellas, cigars, pencils. Containers equal female genitalia. Boxes, caves, ovens. Flying equals sexual arousal. Dancing intercourse. Freud's Vienna must have been the horniest city in history. If every umbrella purchase was erotic symbolism. Then came Freudian slips. Verbal mistakes revealing unconscious desires. Call your teacher mom. Maternal issues. Mispronounce a name. Secret hatred. He was a psychological detective seeing sexual crimes in every typo. Chapter 6: The Disciples and Drama. Freud had gathered followers who met weekly in his apartment, like a Victorian book club, obsessed with sexual trauma. But Freud couldn't handle disagreement. The 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞𝐿 breakup. Carl Jung was Freud's golden boy until he suggested maybe not everything was about sex. Maybe some issues came from spiritual drives. Freud's response: blasphemy. They ended with Jung calling Freud a bitter old man. Adler's rebellion. Alfred Adler suggested people were motivated by power, not just sex. Freud kicked him out faster than you could say inferiority complex. The irony? Adler developed hugely influential self-esteem theories. Followers had to undergo analysis themselves, proving loyalty by confessing their sexual neuroses. It was psychological fraternity. Hazing. Want to join? Tell us about your mother. Chapter 7. Later theories and escape. World War I forced Freud to develop even weirder theories. He couldn't explain mass violence through sexual repression alone, so he invented the death drive, claiming all humans unconsciously want to die. His office looked like an archaeological museum with ancient artifacts. He smoked 20 cigars daily while insisting cigars were phallic symbols. Zero self-awareness. The Nazi escape. In 1938, the 82-year-old had to flee Nazi-occupied Vienna. When they burned his books in 1933, he quipped, "What progress? In the Middle Ages they would have burned me. Now they're content with my books." He died in London in 1939, asking his doctor for lethal morphine. He lived and died on his own controversial terms. Chapter 8. The Legacy. Modern psychology has rejected most of Freud's specific theories, but his broader insights revolutionized how we think about minds. What he got right. The unconscious influences behavior. Childhood shapes adult personality. Talking therapy helps mental health. Dreams reveal unconscious thoughts. What he got wrong? Not everything is about sex. The Oedipus complex isn't universal. Penis envy isn't real. Dreams aren't always sexual. The irony. Freud claimed to be scientific but created unfalsifiable theories. Yet his unscientific insights about human nature were often brilliant. He was like a broken clock, right twice a day. Except his right moments revolutionized psychology. Freud everywhere. Every therapy couch. Freudian slip. Concept of daddy issues. Or joke about everything being sexual traces back to him. He's been memeified by internet culture, turning his most ridiculous theories into comedy gold. Sigmund Freud was a cocaine enthusiast, cigar addict, antiquities collector, refugee, and revolutionary who was spectacularly wrong about details but right about everything important. He transformed the mind from a rational filing cabinet into a haunted house full of repressed memories and family drama. Were his theories correct? Mostly no. Did he change how humans understand themselves? Absolutely. Today, when someone goes to therapy, analyzes dreams, or jokes about daddy issues, they're participating in Freud's ongoing conversation. He proved we're not the rational creatures we pretend to be. We're complex, contradictory, and fascinating because of our contradictions. Perhaps that's the perfect tribute to a man who spent his life proving nothing is simple, including himself. The mind is like an iceberg. It floats with 1/7 of its bulk above water. Fun facts. His final words were, "Now, it is nothing but torture." He never said, "Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar." His artifacts are still displayed in London,